Istanbul, Saudi Arabia said Tuesday it intercepted a ballistic missile south of its capital fired by a rebel group in neighboring Yemen, raising regional tensions amid Saudi claims that Iran is supplying the rebel fighters with weapons. The missile incursion marked the second time the rebels, known as Houthis, had targeted Riyadh since early November as part of retaliation for Saudi-led attacks seeking to break the rebel grip on parts of Yemen. Colonel Turki al-Malki, a Saudi coalition spokesman, said in a statement that the missile was intercepted and destroyed south of Riyadh. Witnesses described hearing a loud boom, and images on social media showed a plume of smoke in the sky. A Houthi spokesman, writing on Twitter, said that a missile, known as a Volcano H-2, had targeted a royal palace in Riyadh. The backdrop to the attack was the nearly 3-year-old multi-sided war in Yemen between the Houthis and a Saudi-led military coalition backed by the United States. The conflict has killed more than 10,000 people, displaced millions, and sparked outbreaks of cholera and fears of a famine in Yemen, the Arab world's poorest country. The fighting in Yemen has intensified in the past few weeks. The Saudi-led coalition and affiliated ground forces, seeking to exploit a schism between the Houthis and their allies, have mounted what appears to be a multi-pronged offensive on Houthi-held territory. Washington ramps up accusations of Iranian aid to Yemeni rebels. On Tuesday, the UN Human Rights Office said it was deeply concerned by an increase in civilian casualties, adding that it had verified the deaths of 136 civilians and non-combatants in Saudi-led coalition airstrikes in a 10-day period beginning December. 6 Houthi militants were also responsible for revenge attacks against their former allies, killing at least 4 people in December and possibly carrying out other summary killings, the UN said. Increasingly, the conflict is seen as a proxy battle between Saudi and its Western allies and Iran. Saudi and U.S. officials have accused Iran of supplying the Houthis with weapons, including ballistic missiles fired across the Saudi border, a charge Iran has denied. The Trump administration, meanwhile, has tried to use the accusations of weapons transfers to intensify international pressure on Iran. Last week, in a news conference that included missile remnants, Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, said the weaponry amounted to undeniable proof of Iran's deepening involvement in Yemen. This evidence demonstrates a pattern of behavior in which Iran sows conflict and extremism, she said. In early November, the Houthis fired a missile toward Riyadh's international airport that caused no casualties. There were conflicting claims, though, about whether the projectile had been shot down before it hit. Saudi officials, as well as President Trump, said at the time that the missile had been intercepted. According to the Defense Department, the missile fragments recovered, including remnants from the November attack, bore no indications that they had been shot down with a U.S.-made Patriot missile defense system, which is part of the Saudi arsenal. But not all of the missile fragments were retrieved.